Welcome to creating a CV or resume tutorial. What is a CV? Well, a CV is simply to sell your skills to an employer, a convenient way to apply for work, and hopefully to get you invited to an interview. Curriculum vitae is information about a person's education and professional history, usually prepared for job applications. Another name for a CV is resume. A CV is the most flexible and convenient way to make applications. It puts across your personal details in a way that presents you in the best possible light. A CV is a marketing document in which you're marketing something. In this case, it's yourself. So, there's no best way to create and present a CV, but there are some following general rules that could apply. Try and make sure that your CV is targeted on a specific job or career. Make sure it is carefully crafted and laid out, well organised and easy to read. Your CV should be informative but concise. It should be accurate in its content. Spelling and grammar, if you mention, for instance, you have attention to detail, make sure your spelling and grammar are perfect. So the purpose of a CV. A CV is a way of providing a picture of yourself to a prospective employer. And the whole purpose of a CV is to get you invited for that interview. The aim is to attract the reader's attention, make them want to read it in detail, and then want to meet you to find out more about you. What to include in a CV? Your name and contact details, your personal or professional profile, education and qualifications, training, career history, any added responsibilities, achievements, your interests and hobbies, and referees or references. So here is a typical template CV. This is one I use with my students quite often. So in the top you can see there's forenames and surname, location, telephone number and email. Please put in a sensible email. Don't add crazychick@hotmail.com. Try and make sure it's not your college or school email, as they'll be deactivated a few months after you leave. Next, we've got our professional profile. So the professional profile, this is the point where you can provide a summary of your abilities, including details on skills and knowledge you have to offer the employer. You could put educational achievements, grades, courses and projects in this section. If you have any part-time work experience, then you can put an overview of what you do here. If not, you can simply expand on transferable or soft skills that you may have gained through your education, such as communication, teamwork, organisation and planning, IT skills, empathy. Also, if you have any impressive extracurricular activities, then it's worth touching upon them there. Below personal profile or professional profile, we've got education and qualifications, starting with your most current first and working back in time to your oldest qualifications. The next section is work experience. So this is split up into a few different points. We've got dates, the company name, location, role, and then we've got an outline. So in this, it's a high-level overview of the role to show how you fit into the organisation and what the overall goal of your job was. The bottom part of your work experience portion, there's key achievements or projects. If possible, try and add some impressive achievements you've made that have had a real impact on either the employer, a customer or client. Now, if we don't have any work experience and you've not volunteered your time anywhere, this portion could be changed to possibly key skills or main skills. And here I would list your attributes, things like communication skills, problem solving skills, any IT skills, any packages that you can work with really well. I would also add in things like what sort of person you are, if you're responsible, and for each of these skills, note down where you use them so you can demonstrate to the employer how you use these skills on a day-to-day basis. Now, on the bottom of a CV, we have the awards and recognition, and interests section. Awards and recognition is any award that you have that might highlight you and what sort of person you are. These could be sporting awards, they could be awards for creative writing, they could be awards for life-saving, martial arts awards, any sort of thing that shows that you have achieved. Now, interests. So with the interests, list any interests that could be relevant to the roles you're applying for, or could generally be deemed as impressive, such as completing contests, fundraising, volunteering, travelling, or playing sports. Please don't put down I like to go shopping with my friends or socialising or watching TV and film. Most people like to do that. See if you can make yourself stand out a little bit with your interests. Make yourself interesting. At the bottom of this, usually I would advise a student to add in referees or references available on request. Effective writing. When we talk about the first part of your CV, the personal or professional profile, we need to make it stand out. We need to make the reader want to read it a little bit more. So an easy way of doing this is by using dynamic words. So there's lots of dynamic words, but they're usually doing words of some sort. I do find that lots of students write in the first person, I am this, I am that, I am confident, I am happy. By changing it into doing words, you're actually tailoring the CV for the person that would be reading it. So try and make it maybe more third person, rather than I am someone who does this. Being a person that does. It's how you start the sentence, really. Just think that you're trying to tailor make your CV to the appropriate age range of the reader. Presentation tips. CV should be carefully crafted and clearly laid out. Never back a CV. Pages should be on separate sheets of paper, not back to back. Always try and be positive within your CV. Be honest. The top to the middle of the page should contain the essential information. That's the sweet spot that most hiring managers will look at. But if you're sending it, please don't fold the CV. Put it in an A4 envelope so it looks pristine when it arrives at your employer. Design tips and ideas. Things to make your CV stand out from the crowd. I would advise to emphasise headings and subheadings with the use of large fonts, bold, italic, underline and styles. Use bullet and numbering for lists in your CVs. Use tables for education and work history. Even headers and footers for any information you want to include on all pages. Keep your design simple. Don't overuse colour. Make it easy for the reader to read all the information. This is a CV that a student of mine has completed from the template. So let's have a look over Billy's CV. Firstly, she's changed the name and contact details into a centre of the page. She's added a splash of colour with blue for all the sections within the CV. And she's given us a short, punchy personal profile showing what she likes to do, where her passions lie, and what direction she hopes to go in the future, and in what area she's looking for work. Beneath that, then, is her education and qualifications. Firstly, she's put her school, her qualifications, and her predicted grades. Young Billy was still in school at this point. College work that she's done, what courses she did, and her predicted grade. And then any further studies that she's done. In this case, Billy done quite a lot of online courses, lots of things to do with well-being, supporting children, social psychology, introduction to child psychology, and things like that. So she'd filled up her CV rather well with education and qualifications. It comes down to work experience now. And Billy has got a good, solid amount of work experience, working as a volunteer for the British Boy and Girl Scouts. She outlines her volunteering, gives us a 3-line overlay of her work, And then she split it into key responsibilities, things that she's especially in charge of. And at the bottom, she's got key achievements or projects that she's been a member of and her awards from the Scout Association. Lastly, she's added an awards and recognition section where she's put in 3 of her awards. Next would be interests. And again, she's broken her interests down to things that would be specific for what she's hoping to gain, which is a job with children. And right at the bottom, she's added references available for request. CV mistakes. One survey of employers found the following mistakes were most common. Spelling and grammar. A lot of employers found that there were spelling and grammar errors on a CV. Not tailored to the job was another specific mistake, making the CV too generic. The length not being right, that the CV was on 1 page or 3 pages. Try and spread it out over 2 pages. Poor format and no use of bullet points. Contact and email problems. This is a constant issue with CVs, that they get a great candidate and they can't contact them. Either their email is incorrect, the telephone number goes to voicemail, or there's no name on the CV at all. Being too vague, not telling them where you'd like to go, what direction you're heading in, and how you could be a useful member of their team. Lying is a definite no-no. You will be exposed. Google is amazing at finding out things nowadays, but even worse, you could get the job, be put in the position, and then shown that you have no experience. No need for a photo on a CV unless you're a model or an actor. So this is the point where education moves on towards employment. And this is one of the few documents that will help you bridge the gap, showing an employer all your attributes, qualities, qualifications, and experience, and putting them all into one document. Thank you for listening to my tutorial. I hope it has been informative and you've got something from it. For any more information about work placement, work experience, apprenticeships, please don't hesitate to ask to see if we can help you on the next stage of your journey into employment.